Hi everybody, it's Megan Zeckman and I am with Education Possible and I am here to talk about teens and scheduling for homeschooling. Good. Hi, welcome. How are you? Hello, welcome. We started school, as I mentioned in my Periscope the other day. We started school on Monday. Did you start school too? Thank you for the love. And I wanted to talk a little bit about scheduling because, hi, welcome. I'm Megan Zeckman. I'm with Education Possible. I blog over there with Susan Williams, and we talk all about middle school and high school. So today I want to talk a little bit about scheduling, especially with your middle schoolers, because it's as they get older, as your kids get older, they start to take responsibility for some of their education, and part of that is scheduling. And so I wanted to share kind of how we do it in our house and see if that might work for you. Because up until that point, up until my oldest started middle school, I did all the scheduling. So I not only laid out the whole school year of what I wanted to get done throughout the year, but I also looked at what we were going to do what days. So they didn't have a lot of say in what we did because they weren't doing a ton of independent work yet. But then once Abigail hit 6th grade, I realized, she's older now, she can do more on her own. And so I started giving her more responsibility for her own work. So the math, her getting started in language arts, I certainly help if she needs it, but she can work through and she can read and follow directions and things like that. And hello. So I decided to have her start working a little bit more independently. So again, math, language arts, she had to be responsible for getting her violin practice in when she was typing. We did critical thinking. So I had a list of things that I wanted her to kind of be responsible for during the week. I don't care when they get done. I honestly couldn't care less. They just need to be done. So I needed to find a way to kind of give that scheduling over to her, to give her a little bit more responsibility. Because if I want her to do the work kind of independently, then she needs to take more control of her schedule. She needs to learn how to do that scheduling because that's a great skill. Kids need to know how to do that. So I decided to start in middle school. And it's actually evolved a little bit because now Abigail's in 8th grade, Mariana's in 6th grade, and Mariana started doing her own schedule too a couple years ago, and since Abigail started, and so we're adapting it even more. So I wanted to share kind of how we do it. So I'm going to show you what I do is this is our whiteboard. And every week I write on the whiteboard things that we want to get done this week. And then every square is kind of like a day or a session. So like for typing, I want them to spend about 15 minutes typing. I don't want them to spend a ton of time. Math, they have 6 math sheets in each lesson. Hi! So I split it up by each girl. And then on the bottom are things that we're going to work on together. So, exactly what geography we're going to do. Thank you so much for the love. What book we're reading in book club, what we're going to be doing in history. And so this gives them the freedom. And what they used to do was they used to look at this list and they would go ahead and look at our schedule. So they'd pull out our little calendar, family calendar, and they would figure out what days we were going to be home. And then they decided, well, I really want to get my math done this day, so I'm going to put this. And then they put like a little M or a T or whatever next to the things they were going to do. I'm going to go ahead and flip this back around. And so that's what we used to do. And this year, well, at the end of last year, they decided, more Abigail, said, I really want kind of a daily schedule. And so I said, that's fine. Thank you so much for the love. And so I kind of made a little spreadsheet just on Excel, and it's real simple. It just has columns, 1 column for each day, and then rows, and check boxes, because she said she wanted check boxes. And so what we do is I put this up on the board, and then what I love about doing this is it's in our hallway on the way to the girls' room, and on the way to the laundry room, and on the way to the garage. So the family passes it all the time. So the girls can always see what they're working on. We can make adjustments, and Mariana's going to bring in her other schedule. And then
Abigail.
And Daddy can look at it too. So he knows what we're working on during the week and what the girls have been getting done and what they haven't been getting done. So he can kind of get on them saying, it's Thursday, you haven't done a math sheet yet. You kind of need to get these math pages done. And so it's given them control. They feel more responsible. They feel more grown up. And they're, like I said, they're just getting this great, great skill. Thank you, Amy, for inviting people. So I love the idea of getting your middle schoolers used to scheduling their own schooling. And so that's how we run it. And now what they do is they take this list. So again, like I showed you that the 2 sections that they have. So the math, the language arts, typing, their music, things like that. Then they transfer it onto their schedule. And this is Abigail, Mariana brought in Abigail's. So like I said, real simple Excel spreadsheet. And just, she wanted the check boxes. So I had others that I was able to use that I had for a mom planner, but Abigail really wanted the check boxes. So I just made one up so that she could do the check boxes. So then they put on the days when they want to do certain things. So they've decided, I'm going to get this out of the way. I want to do this. So I'm going to write this down on Monday. And so I know that's the day I'm going to get it done. So then they get up and they just start on their own work. Because Mariana's an early riser, Abigail's 13, so she's a later riser. So Mariana gets up, she starts her schoolwork right away. She could be done, her basics that she needs to work on her own, she could be done by 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30. But because they have their own schedule, they've kind of decided what they want to lay out. They just get up and do their own thing. So if I'm busy with something, if I'm not even up, sometimes I have insomnia, so I don't sleep all the time at night, so sometimes I'm still sleeping in the morning. Thank you. Still trying to get over that because it drives me crazy because I lose like a whole day. But now that they're older, I don't lose a whole day of schooling because they can do their own thing, which I love. And then it's visual because I can easily see these marks on the dry erase board, and then they have this little paper, their little schedule that they can carry with them anywhere, and then they can do whatever they want with that. Now with the other schedules, what I do for our history, we do history together, we do Bible together, we do geography together. If we're doing art or science, we're not doing those right now because we're focusing on the other things. We do all those together. We do book club together. We always read our book club book together. I schedule those out. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, because of the way our life has worked, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is geography day. And so in the middle, so Mariana gets up and does her job. Then she's already working on her basics. Then Abigail gets up. And once Abigail gets up, we have breakfast. We watch CNN Student News. If you don't watch that, it's really, really cool because it's 10 minutes, something like that. But it gives, a couple of the highlights of what's going on. And it's age appropriate for your teens. They really are careful about the way they talk about things that are going on in the world. And so we watch that, we talk about kind of what the day is, what's going on, and then we move into our group things. Because I was finding too, I was pushing our group stuff, or the stuff we wanted to do together, till much later in the day, and that was not working. I don't know if there's a political, I don't think so with the student news. Today was about ISIS and Syria and, kind of the role that different countries are playing in kind of what's going on over there because they all have different allies. That was a couple minutes. And the past couple days, actually, they've been talking about the Dow because the Dow has just been going so crazy. And so then we have this great conversation about what is the stock market? What are stocks? And so I look at the news prior, so I just know what's going on in the world and I have an idea. Again, mine are older, so I'm able to talk about anything that happens because they're going to encounter things, and I'd rather them encounter them with me so that I can give them what our family, I can put our family beliefs within that framework. But I didn't notice, I really haven't noticed it. Now, of course, it's not a political, it's starting the whole, cycle with politics, and mine honestly really don't like politics a lot. It's too negative for them. They just go crazy with it. So I try to stay away from that anyway. So what I do is after we watch that and we're finished breakfast, we do our Bible lesson, and then we work on whatever then. So today we worked on geography page together, and then we read our book club, we read more of our book club book and worked on our book club assignment. And I'm finding that's working for us much better because I'm more awake at that time, because what was happening was I was waiting until they got all their basics done. Like I said, Abigail's 13. She doesn't get up that early. Yeah, you use student news too. So I was finding that I was pushing the stuff I wanted to do together till the afternoon, and I'm wiped. I mean, I'm a homeschool mom. I have a blog. I have tons of other stuff going on, just like all the rest of you, and I was brain dead. And so I was finding we weren't getting like the history done or the geography done, and that was just breaking my heart. So this really seems to be working for us well. But the key, honestly, is the scheduling of themselves. Them having responsibility. I pound into their head time and time again, it's their education, it's not mine. I have a degree. I don't need to do all this again. Sure, I'm learning a lot that I didn't learn in my public school days, but it's their education, and they need to start taking responsibility. And they're plenty old enough. They're 6th grade and 8th grade. I expect a lot out of them, and they know that. And they rise to the occasion. And they like it, honestly, because I don't like to be told what to do most days, and neither do they. You know, if they wake up and they decide, you know, I had math scheduled today, but I'm really not feeling that great, they know what our schedule's like. They can just push it to another day, because like I said, I don't care when it gets done. And I've told them that. I don't care where it gets done. I don't care when it gets done. Absolutely, it shows them respect and positive expectations, because they're people, right? And they're not little kids anymore. And they've really, I think if you do set those expectations high, they do rise to them, because it's just what they know. You know, we've been doing it for so long now. You know, this is the first time we've put it from the board onto a sheet, and that was because as Abigail's gotten into 8th grade now, she just wanted something a little bit more. And that's honestly, I'm happy for that, because we're going to need it next year in high school. And so it's a great time for us to transition for her to have more of that. Now, I think at some point next year, she's going to have to set more of the times, because the coursework is going to get even greater. And I've started adding more for her this year. She's taking an extra history class because she loves history. So she and I are doing Dave Raymond's American history course together that Mariana's not doing, because Abigail loves history. And so that's a little bit of, it's extra videos, extra reading, things like that. And so I just really want to encourage you, part of when they hit middle school and high school, part of making your day go smoother is really giving them the reins as much as you possibly can. And again, I don't walk away from them. I'm working at my computer right next to them. I'm grading papers right at the table with them. And so I'm really right there, and they get to see and talk to me, and if they have problems, I'm right there to help them. But they take control of when they want to do things. And so I want to encourage you to maybe a whiteboard, maybe a binding schedule, a hardcover schedule, something. Just start to get them practicing working on scheduling, because they need to know how to do that. So might as well start now. So thanks for joining me. I'm Megan Zeckman, and I am with Education Possible. We talk all about middle school and high school. So if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler that you're homeschooling, check us out at educationpossible.com.